And then I'll have you come right up to the front of your chair and bring your feet underneath your knees. All right. And then just sort of notice, are you sitting evenly on your sitting bones? Can you feel like with your feet, get your tripod set. So press down into your heels and the balls of your feet and then lift your toes up, spread them out a little bit, and then place your toes down. So we've got the tripods down, we've got the sitting bones down, and then just roll your shoulders back a little bit. Let your ears move away from your shoulders, and close your eyes. So with your eyes closed, just notice your breath, the way air is moving in and out. Is your breathing fast or slow? Is it shallow or deep? And then let's try and even the breathing out. So as you inhale, see if you can inhale to a very slow count of 4 and exhale to that same slow count of 4. So inhaling to a slow count of 4 and exhaling to a slow count of 4. And for many people, the exhaling to 4 is going to be harder. We tend to exhale a little quicker. We don't like being empty, so we don't tend to exhale completely. So this is just a way to start to balance that out a little bit. It's a way to get comfortable with feeling uncomfortable. So breathing in to 4 and breathing out to 4. And as you're doing this counting, if that's creating any tension in your body, like in your jaw, your shoulders, your feet, your legs, just kind of let that tension go and just bring your focus back to the nice slow count of 4 as you breathe in and slow count of 4 as you breathe out. And take in another nice slow deep breath and hold your breath in. And keep holding. And then let the air out very slowly through your nose. And go back to your natural breath. All right, let your eyes open and then let's just roll the shoulders a couple of times. And as you roll your shoulders, just move your head a little from side to side or up and down or whatever feels okay. All right, and then let's pretend we're waking up. So we're stretching, one arm up and one arm back. And if there's a yawn in there, let it out. And the other way. I'll just go up and around a couple of times. I'm going to get everybody to yawn here. That's my goal this morning. Let's do this till we yawn. And if you yawn, don't stifle it, because, you know, yawns are contagious. If we hear it, we're going to yawn with you. Oh, I don't know. That's a really good question. And then let's go forward. Oh. And we do it with other animals, too, and then go back. You ever notice if your cat or your dog yawns? Makes you yawn, too, right? It's kind of a universal thing. Oh. And how about both up overhead? Maybe even grab one arm and stretch. Oh, I got another one coming. Oh, wow. A lot of them this morning. And then squeeze the shoulder blades together. Oh. All right, and let that all go. Let's do a little yes movement for the head. So up and down, nice and slow. Noticing what's tight in there this morning or what's not tight in there this morning. Good. Great. 2 more. Nice. Thank you for that. And then we'll do a little no movement. So turning your head to the left and right. Ah. And as you get to one side, just kind of pause there and give it just a little bit more. So, like when you turn your head to the right, you're as far as you think you can be, and then see if you can just take a pause and turn a little bit more, and then turn over to the left, and same thing. So wherever you're at, right? We're turning at different rates probably. So just when you get to one side, you just give it a little pause, give it a little extra turn. Great, and then head comes back to the center. So we did the yes, we did the no. Let's do the maybe, kind of up and down. I don't know, maybe. Not really sure. So as you go up, see if you can get your ears and your shoulders really close. And then as you go down, move your ears and your shoulders away from each other. So again, we're going to those ends of ranges, and we're trying to get as long and as short as we can be. And one more time, up and down. Great. And then we're just going to bring the right ear to the right shoulder. And then over to the left. So really nice and slow. This is one of those movements. If you do it too fast, it can make you feel a little dizzy. So we're just going to go super slow, left to right. And as you get to one side and you're holding there, just notice what's happening in the other side of your body. So anywhere on that other side of your head, down into your shoulder, your chest, your neck. And then one more time. Great. And then we'll just kind of come back to center. Roll the shoulders just a couple of times to loosen that up. Excellent. And then we're going to take the right arm now, and we're going to stretch it across the body to the left with your palm down, and then we're going to turn the palm up and go back behind you. So we're stretching the front of the chest. So as we're doing this, I want you to take your left hand, yes, your left hand, place it on your right chest, like somewhere between your collarbone and your shoulder. And we're just going to bring that arm back. Now that will hopefully prevent you from twisting your body. Right? So I want you to feel the muscle under here stretching. As we go forward, squeeze the muscle under your hand, and then as we go back, feel that muscle stretch. So as you come forward, squeeze that muscle, and you can spread your fingers out to like really feel the whole thing there, right? So this is your pectoral muscles that's under your hand right now, the chest muscles that control your shoulder as well. So we're going back. Okay, and the next time that your arm comes back and to the right, so we're holding the arm back there, and we're holding the hand here on those chest muscles, and we're going to turn the head to the left. And look as far around to the left as you can, and keep reaching your right fingers and your right arm back as far as it'll go. Good. And then really slowly, you're going to turn your head back to center, bring your arm to the left, and your head to the right. And then we're going to go open up the arm and turn the head to the left. So nice and slow, and all the while, and keep cycling through this, all the while, your left hand is on your right chest, and you're just kind of feeling the movement of all that tissue, the muscles, everything under your hand is moving. Great. One more time. And then we'll come back to sort of a neutral position, hands on your lap, close your eyes, just take a moment and feel that right side versus the left side. Just kind of notice. Your arm was moving, you got some movement in your shoulder, and we were really focusing on the pectoral muscles in the front. That's part of the shoulder, contributes to the shoulder girdle itself, to the shoulder joint itself. Let your eyes open, and we're going to do the same thing on the left side. So we're taking the left arm over to the right with the palm down, and then we're bringing that arm back behind without twisting the body. And we're going to take that right hand now, place it right here, like your hand over your heart thing, right? And then we're just going to go back and forth with this. So we're just opening up through the chest. Now, as you do this, I want you to really focus on what you're feeling underneath your hand, right? So as the arm comes across your body, can you give a little squeeze to those muscles? And then as the arm comes back, can you feel a nice stretch there? Great. 2 more times, kind of cycling over and back. And you're going at a rate that feels good and at a distance that feels okay. And the next time you have your arm out and behind you to the left over there, right? You're going to keep your arm back there and reach out through your fingers, and you're going to turn your head to the right. And turn your head as far as you can, right? So the fingers are reaching as far away from the nose as possible, and the nose is reaching as far away from the fingers as possible. And then we're going to do a real slow movement as we bring the head back and to the left and the arm over to the right. And then the head over to the right and the arm over to the left. And as you're doing this, so we're kind of coordinating this movement. I also want you to feel what's happening underneath your hand. If you're sort of moving, you can move your arm without really engaging these pectoral muscles, but I want you to really squeeze those muscles when the arm comes across, and then relax them enough that they can stretch when the arm comes out. Just one more time, you guys. This is really good. Great. And then back to sort of a neutral position. Hands on your lap, close your eyes, take a couple of breaths in and out. All right, and then let's roll the shoulders a couple more times here. Okay, so we stretched out the front. We're going to work a little bit in the back now, especially to kind of strengthen that. So I'm going to have you take your elbows kind of at rib height with your hands, elbows bent rather, and then you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together and bring them back to neutral. So squeeze the shoulder blades together and then back to neutral. Now as you're doing this, try not to lift your chin. So you want to keep your head kind of level. Imagine if you had like a ball or something on your head and you didn't want it to roll off. So the head's not moving, it's just the arms, and we're just squeezing the shoulder blades back there and then coming back. You can have your hands in whatever position feels okay. A light fist is okay, just don't squeeze your fists. In other words, don't make a really strong fist. We're just kind of holding the hands here. Okay, so the next time you bring your shoulder blades together behind you, we're just going to hold here and keep breathing and lift your elbows a little higher without bringing your chin up, right? Okay, so you can continue to hold here. If you want a little bit more, I'm going to have you extend your arms and bend your arms without moving the upper arms. So you can see my upper arms aren't moving. I'm not doing this, right? I'm keeping those upper arms lifted, and we're just bending and extending, right? So this is a little harder. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Keep breathing. Okay, and the next time that you extend your arms, you're going to hold here. Keep squeezing those shoulder blades together a little bit more, and imagine you could clap your hands together back there. Wouldn't that be something? And I know you probably can, but your chair is in the way. So we'll just say that's the reason why. I like that. So we're just kind of squeezing those shoulder blades together a little bit more. Keep squeezing. One more time, squeeze, 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 and then release. Whew, let your heavy arms hang down by your sides. Close your eyes. Feel those heavy arms reaching to the floor and lengthen your neck. So it's like you're trying to bring your ears away from your shoulders, and you're trying to bring your fingers closer to the floor. Those things are happening simultaneously. One more nice deep breath in and out. All right, and then let's take the arms in front. You can either interlace your fingers, or if that doesn't work for your hands, you can just grab one hand, and we're just going to push away. So we're stretching through that upper back, just kind of pushing out one side and the other. Oh, that feels good. And then relax that. All right. So let's work a little bit on the elbows now. So we've done quite a bit of focus work on the shoulders. So we're just going to start with a bend and tap. Really simple bend and tap movement. And as you're doing this, just notice what your elbows feel like this morning. So elbows can get a little cranky, a little tricky. Okay, so we're going to keep adding to this movement. So the next time that you bend, you're going to hold here, and then we're going to go up overhead, and then we're going to go back down. Okay, so that's our next iteration of this movement. So we're up and then down. Simple bend of the elbow, up and down. And when you go up overhead, your shoulders are getting a little bit more of a workout too. When you go up overhead, I want you to really reach out through your fingers and lengthen the arm, lengthen your body. And then when you reach down like you could touch the floor. Okay? All right, you guys ready for the next ad? I think you are. Okay, so the next time that we go up, we're going to bend and tap the shoulders, but instead of coming down, we're going to go out to the sides. Okay? And then back in and down. Okay, so that's the whole cycle. Bend, up, bend out, bend down. Right? Bend up, breathe out, breathe down, and keep breathing. So that's the movement. We got that, right? Yeah. This is good. Good for the shoulders, good for the brain, good for the elbows. We'll go one more time. Down, up, and out. Great. And then down. Okay. So now we're going to take the right hand to the, actually, we're going to take both hands to the shoulders. Sorry about that. So instead of going up and down at the same time, we're going to bring the right arm down and the left arm up, and then switch, right? So the right arm goes up and the left arm goes down. So this should feel not too confusing, right? It might be a little more confusing than doing both at the same time, but this is a type of movement that we do when we're walking, like we're swinging our arms in opposite directions. So this can feel kind of normal to us to be able to do this. Okay. All right. And then the next time your hands are on your shoulders, we're going to pause here. So let's make it a little more interesting. So instead of just up and down, because again, this is a movement when I'm walking, you know, I'm used to this kind of movement with my arms, but I'm not used to an up and out movement, right? So we're going to go up with the right arm and out with the left. And then we're going to switch. So we go up with the left and out with the right. Okay? And keep that arm that's going out to the side, keep it lifted. Okay? Good. And keep breathing. Try not to bring it way down toward the floor. Yeah. Great. Okay. And then the next time your hands are on your shoulders, we're going to pause here. So instead of up and out, we're going to go down and out. So right arm comes down and left arm goes out. And then we switch. And this should be confusing. Yeah. Because we did a whole bunch of the up and outs. And your brain was like, oh yeah, I got this movement. And then we completely changed it. And your brain is like, what the heck just happened? And breathe. Yes, the other hand wants to go up, doesn't it? I know. All right. Let's do this. Both hands on the shoulders. Okay, we're going to see if we can do this. So we're going to have the right arm go up, the left arm go, the right arm go down, the left arm go up. Okay? Right arm goes down, left arm goes up. Yep, that was my fault. I said it the wrong way. Okay, so then we're going to tap the shoulders. The right arm's going to go up and the left arm's going to go out. Okay? So remember, so hang on one second, guys. So relax for a second. So the whole cycle is down, up, and out. Okay? So we just did down with the right and up with the left. Okay? And then we're going to go up with the right and out with the left. Okay? Out with the right and down with the left. That's the cycle. I know, right? We are really just doing this. We are really just doing this. So where are we? So we're here. Okay, so now we're going to, where am I? Out. Down, down. I got confused too. All right, so then we're going to tap again. The right goes down, the left goes up. We were just there? Yeah, that's where we started. Yeah, we're starting again. Yep. And then we tap again, and the right goes up and the left goes out. And we tap again. Oh my God, I forgot where I am. The left goes down and the right goes out. Got it? Neither do I. All I know is we are really just doing this, but we're doing it on opposite sides in a really slow motion way. We can do opposite things in twos relatively easily. We can train ourselves to do those things relatively easily. When we add one more element, so instead of just two things, we go to three things, it changes the game like completely. Okay. Whew. I'm not going to torture you anymore with that. All right. And I have to say it. Yes. So thank you for that, Ellen. All right. So let's circle the wrists a little bit here. We'll give those elbows and that brain a little break. So just circling the wrists. And reversing direction. Good, good. All right. And then bring your hands together and we'll just kind of push the hands from side to side, getting a little more movement in the wrist. Try and keep your elbows from moving too much. In other words, you don't want your elbows like this, but a little bit of movement's okay. And then let's take the right hand, bring the fingers down, and then see if you can bring your left palm and just press it against the back of that right hand. Don't press too hard. If this causes pinching or pain in your wrist, just don't pinch too hard. And don't have your shoulder way up here. Just kind of relax that down a little bit. So we're just holding in this position, and we're going to lower the elbow down and lift it up a little bit. That's all. So you're holding your hand steady, and you're just moving the elbow up and down a little bit. And your shoulder moves up and down a little bit too. Relax your jaw, breathe, all those things. All right, and then release that. Circle around or shake it out. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we just take the left hand, fingers come down, and then right palm just really gently gives it a little bit of a push, right? Relax the shoulder, relax the jaw. Breathe as you just drop your elbow and then raise your elbow. And it doesn't have to be a big movement with that elbow. It's just a little bit. We're trying to get to feel this in the wrist. So if you're feeling it more in the shoulder, you're lifting too much. We want to just feel this in the wrist. People's wrists can get super tight. And depending on what we're doing, right? If we make a lot of small movements and then we go to make a big movement, that can make a difference here. Great. One more time, just sort of up and down. Great. Shake that out a little bit. And let's take the fingers of the right hand, pull back. So we've got the fingers facing up and just kind of stretching the whole palm of the hand into the wrist a little bit here. Great job. And then take the fingers, point them down with your palm facing out and pull back on the fingers again. And this time, if you want, you can straighten your elbow, get a nice stretch in through there. I can feel that into my neck, so that's kind of nice. And then let's switch sides. So left hand fingers come up and we're pulling back. Good. And then fingers come down and we're pulling back, and we can straighten there if we want. Great. And shake all of that out. Let's roll the shoulders up and around a few times. As you're rolling your shoulders, just move your head a little. Last chance for a yawn here, you guys. Pull back. If it feels like a yawn is there, let it rip. Good one. Yes, thank you. All right, and then let that all go. Good. Okay, so we're going to shift our focus. We'll give the shoulders and the upper body a little bit of a break, and we'll move a little bit to the lower body. So let's start with the feet kind of wide apart. Your hands on your chair, and you're right up to the front edge of your chair. All we're going to do here is we're going to lower the knees to the right and then to the left. And as you lower from side to side, you can lean back in your chair a little bit, like lean back into your hands, I mean, right? As you move your knees to the right, I want you to take that left knee and push it down a little bit more. And then as you move to the left, you're going to take your right knee and push it down a little bit more. So that means you come up on the toes of that back foot and push, right? And the next time you're over to the right, so we're going to stay here. So you're staying here, and I'm going to have you push that left hip forward and then release. And push it forward and release. And the reason we're holding on to the chair is so nobody falls. Because this would be that is not allowed. That's right, it is not allowed. Not while I'm in the room. Here we go. One more time, and we're going to hold here, right? And as you're holding here, so you're pushing your left hip to the right as much as you can. See if you can turn your head to the left. Oh boy, that's a big twister this morning. Great. And then back to center and over to the other side. So we're pushing that right hip forward and back, and push it forward and back. So we're just kind of rolling through the joint, through the tissue that gets kind of glommy on the hip and around the side of the waist and the lower back. And a couple more. Great. And the next time that you push forward, I'm going to have you hold here. So you're really pushing that hip forward, and then if you can, turn your head to the right. So we got the knees going to the left. We got the head going to the right. Great. And then come back to center with everything. Excellent. So let's do this. Keep your feet wide and just go in and out. In and out. So we're warming up the hip socket. If you remember, the hip socket is the leg bone, the upper leg bone, which is the femur, and that goes into your pelvis, makes a ball and socket. So we're warming that up a little bit. All right. Great. Okay, and then that's it. We're going to bring the feet a little closer together. And now we're going to do some circles for the hip, because that's another way that we get some movement in there. So I'm going to just kind of hold on to my chair, make sure I don't go anywhere, plus it gives me the ability to support my back a little bit. And we're going to do these movements really slowly, because slow creates more strength in the tissue here. So we're just going to lift the right leg, circle it up and around, and bring it right back to the floor. We're going to do the same thing on the left side. So lift it up, circle around, and back to the floor. So we're just going from side to side, nice and slow, and we're circling up first and then kind of coming back in, right? So don't focus so much on how high you're lifting your leg, because that isn't as important as how far out you can go, okay? So lift it up, bring it out, circle it back. Lift it up, bring it out, circle it back. So we got that kind of as far out as you can go. And now if you want to add a little more intention to the lift, you can do that as well. So can you lift a little higher and go out a little farther? So in other words, how big can you make this circle, right? And one side may be really different than the other. One more time on each side. Good. Okay, so that got that rotation out and around. Now we're going to do it the opposite way. So we started going up, out, and around. Now we're going to go out, up, and back. Okay, so it's just kind of a reverse. And we're going to do one leg and then the other. Again, nice and slow, just kind of get things going, moving around in here. So holding onto my chair, I'm just going to lift my foot a teeny bit off the floor, slide it out, go up, around, and back. It's almost like I'm stepping over something to get my foot back to the starting position, right? And you're breathing as you're doing this. You're breathing in a nice smooth way if that's possible. So sometimes when we're doing something that's really challenging, we'll hold our breath, or the breath will get kind of choppy or quick, right? And notice if this is harder or easier. And it doesn't matter how high you lift, just that you've got this nice kind of smooth movement from one side to the other. Okay, how about one more time on each side? Everybody looks like they're doing great. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to take a moment. We're going to add a little something to this, only if it works for you. Okay, so you can you can do one of two movements. So let's start with sort of a basic movement. We're going to lift the right foot up. We're going to go out to the side. We're going to come back in and then down. So this is not a circle. It's just an up, out, and then back in and down. Okay, so left side, same thing. Go out, back, and down. Let's do it one more time. Bless you. On each side. And down. Oh, yeah. Left side. Oh, goodness. Oh, okay. So you can continue with that movement, just up, out, back, and down. Or if this works for you, I'm going to have you lift up, go out to the side, and now turn your knee in and lift your heel out to the side. And then come back and down. If that doesn't work for your hip, you're just going to stick with this movement without the little turn, okay? But you're going to hold for as long as we're holding out to the side. So let's do the left side. Lift up, go out to the left, rotate the knee in and the heel out, go back to a neutral, back and down. So it's a really slow movement, right? Takes a lot of effort. Right side, lift, out, turn, come back and down. Lift up, go out. So we're on the left side now. We're turning, we're going back and down. Can we do one more on each side? I think we can, right? Okay, this is a lot harder, rotating your hip in, or rotating, I'll say it a different way, rotating your leg so your knee is coming in and down. Okay, so for give your legs, your buttocks, whatever, a little bit of a massage here, whatever was feeling it. For most of us, this movement with the hip, that's called external rotation. That's a lot easier than this movement with the hip. This is a lot harder for us to do. But it's important to kind of work on that a little bit, because we need that. We need as much range as we can within the strength parameter of the hip, right? So we certainly wouldn't want this kind of movement in the hip. That would be really wonky to walk, right? So we definitely need a little bit more strength in there than not. Okay, so let's give the hips a little bit of a break. We're going to slide back into the chair. We're going to work on the knees a bit. So your knees right below your hip, they're affected by what we do with our hips. So we're just going to extend the legs and bring the toes toward the shins, and then bend and come down. So let's do just a couple of these, right? So we're keeping the toes reaching up toward the shins. So that's active feet as opposed to just relaxing your feet and letting them hang out. We're just really activating the shin muscles. The next time you're up here, we're going to hold and breathe. And we're going to rotate the feet out. And we're going to rotate the feet in. And as you're rotating your feet, you're also rotating way up into your hip, right? So I kind of lied a little bit about the hip. We're still doing a little bit of hip. Just a little bit. They're supported though, right? And that makes all the difference. Great. Okay, the next time that your feet are straight up at 12 o'clock, we're going to hold here and see if you can lift your feet a little higher. Nice. Everybody just came up about 2 inches. That's great. So we're holding here, right? You're still breathing. And then we're going to really slowly, like we're walking, one leg at a time, we're going to bend one knee and then bend the other knee. Okay? So really slowly. And your toes are reaching up toward the ceiling as best you can. Good. And you're pressing out through your heels. Okay. Can we add one more thing to this? I think we can. So the next time you have your right leg extended, you're going to point your right toes. And then you're going to switch. So when your left leg is extended, you're pointing your left toes. This is hard. Yeah, the brain is going, oh, I don't know about this. So slow is better. The wrong toes, right? The one on the bottom is saying, oh, am I supposed to be doing that? I don't know what's going on. How about a couple more? These can be really hard. Great. And then we're going to land with both legs straight up. Up, 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 lift a little higher. And then super slow, let's lower them down. Ooh, okay, relax everything for a moment. Just kind of feel. So we started to warm things up in the thighs, the knees, and we're going to slide forward. Okay. Let's do one more little movement that includes the knees and the hips. So we're just going to lift one knee up and then down, and up and down. So it's like a big march, right? So we're just kind of marching in place a little bit here. Good. One more on each side. And then we're going to get to the ankles. So extend your legs a little bit, have your heels on the floor. And we're going to squeeze and extend the toes. I lied, we're going to toes, not ankles. Sorry about that. Okay, as you're doing this, since we didn't do fingers when we were working the upper body, let's do the fingers and the toes at the same time, right? So we're making fists and then extending. So making fists and extending. And it's the same. So everybody's a fist and everybody's extended all at the same time. And you're breathing. And this should be fairly easy, yeah? It seems, maybe I won't say it's usual, right? So it's not unusual. It's not unusual. It is not unusual. There we go. Okay. All right, so let's try something maybe a little more unusual, which is we're just going to squeeze on the right side and extend, and squeeze on the left side and extend. Right side and left side, right? So we're looking, if I have my hands and my feet in my line of sight, I can see that everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing here, right? And this feels, again, kind of natural. It doesn't feel too foreign to do this. Okay. And then the next time we have everybody extended, we're just going to hold here. So now instead of going on the same side with the same movement, we're going to do opposite sides with the same movement, which is a lot harder, I'll just say, okay? And I'm not really good at it, so don't watch me, okay? So we're going to keep the hands are extended, the feet are extended, and now we're going to squeeze the right hand and the left foot, and extend, and then squeeze the left hand and the right foot, and extend. Right hand, and good. Failure is good. That means there's lots of room for growth. So we've got right hand and left foot, and then left hand and right foot. Okay, so if you're watching your feet, right? If you're finding this to be easy, and some of you might be, go faster. Right? Go to a place where go to failure. Right? So failure is a great place to be. If you want to get stronger and you're doing like weight training, you want to get to failure, because that means that you're going to get stronger. Same thing here, right? And again, don't watch me, because I have God only knows what up here. Right? Where am I? So much concentration. All right, let's shake that all out. That's a little harder, right? A little harder. So again, thinking about doing, the arm thing where we do 3 things at the same time, that's hard. Get to a place where you've lost control of it and it's sort of a failure at that point. And that's a good thing, because that means that you're kind of growing that ability a little bit, or that you have room to grow that ability. Okay, let's see. So we've done hands and feet. We've done, did we do ankle stuff? We did do ankle stuff. Yeah, we did everything. I think we got it. So we're going to put everything together now. It's a movement we've been doing the past couple of weeks where we're stretching through the front of the hip. getting some extension in through the arm and up overhead. You all will be familiar with it. We're going to turn to the left. Get the whole back of your left leg on the chair. Okay? So whether your foot's on the floor or not, doesn't matter. It's just that the whole leg is on the chair. Your right butt, the cheek there, is kind of hanging off the chair a little bit, and you're holding onto your chair with your left hand. Now, if you've got a sock on, you're good to go. If you don't, you're going to get something, hopefully, that'll slide under your foot. I use my little sock to do this. I'm going to ask you to tuck your pelvis before we start, because what happens sometimes when we start to bring this leg back is we arch the back like that. So I want you to really tuck your pelvis under, which means engaging your belly muscles, and then we're just going to slide that foot back and slide it forward. So slide it back and slide it forward. Now when you slide back, make sure you keep your pelvis tucked. Don't arch your back. And squeeze that right buttock. Okay? And then come back. So that's the movement. Breathing in and breathing out. You're sliding back and squeezing. And you're coming back as far as you can. Right? You want to feel a stretch through the front of that right side. So it can be anywhere from your hip to your knee. And some people are going to feel it more like some people say, oh, I feel that right in the middle of my thigh. That's fine. That's fine. And the next time that you slide back, I'm just going to have you hold there for a moment. Okay? Squeeze that right butt a little bit more. Get that leg extended a little bit more. Breathe. Good. And then relax that. Okay, so we're coming back to sort of that neutral position with the leg. We're still turned to the side. Again, we're adding, right? So we're going to be adding a lot of different things to this. So the next add is going to be to lift the arm up overhead when the leg goes back, and then we're going to bring the arm down when the leg comes forward. So it looks like this. So I'm extending the arm and the leg, and then I'm bending the arm and the leg, right? So again, as you're doing this, I want you to focus on keeping the pelvis tucked, the hip tucked under, so you're not extending, you're not hyperextending through the back. You're going up nice and slowly, breathing in and breathing out. Get that foot back as far as it'll go, right? So just a couple more of these in motion. And the next time we do this, we're going to hold it, right? So hold there and breathe. So you're extending out through your back leg as far as you can. Try not to let your back arch. Arm is up overhead only if that works for you. And one more add, if you want, you can lean into your left arm. So you're leaning into the back of the chair. And see if you can lift your right armpit away from your right hip. Right? Got that? No? You should feel a major increase in the stretch through this right side by lifting the armpit away from the hip. And then relax all of that. Bring the knee and the hip a little closer together. Good. And breathe. So we're going to do that one more time, but I'm going to show you before we do it together. I just want you to see this. So as I come back, I can just stay here. I don't have to use my arm. I can raise my arm. That's another add. This is the lean to the side. So I can just lean to the side, or this is what I mean when I say take the armpit away from the hip. I'm lifting up through that shoulder, right? Can you all see that? I'm trying to lift that shoulder. And as I lift that shoulder away from the hip, there's a different kind of stretch that happens here on the side of the body. Okay. If none of that works for you, don't do it. It's all good. So we're going to start again in our position here. We're going to take the leg back and the arm up. And we're holding and breathing. And if you want this add, lean into the back of your chair. Keep breathing. And if you want that final add, you're going to lift your armpit away from your hip as you engage that shoulder. Very nice. Make sure you can breathe. And then release. Whew. Okay, don't turn quite yet. We're not done on this side. You can feel it in the front of the groin. Yes, exactly. Anywhere in there. Some people feel it on the side. Some people will feel it in the front. Some people might even feel it almost like a twisting kind of sensation in the thigh. There's lots of different places to feel it, anywhere from the knee all the way up. So this last movement that we're going to do, instead of going, I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. Instead of going back and forth with this leg, now we're going to go out to the side with the leg. We did this last time, but I really want to focus on the position of your leg when you go out. So I'll show you the two position options. When you go out, you could do that. See how the knee is facing up and the toes are facing out? I don't want you to do that one. What I want you to do is the harder one, because I know you can do it, is to bring the leg out, bring the knee in, and the heel up. Got that? Let's try that just a couple of times. Really gentle. Go very slowly and be gentle with yourself as you come out. So your heel is lifted toward the ceiling. Your knee is facing the chair or the floor. There's definitely more sensation. Where are you feeling it? Yeah. Yep, so there's definitely more sensation. So if it's one of those feelings that, I can't go any farther than that, I want you to stop right there. If it's just, wow, that's like really intense, I want you to hold it there. Because remember what I said just a moment ago? This is easier than this, right? So we're very tight in through here. If you have low back pain, oftentimes there's stuff in your hip that we can work on to fix that, and this is one of the ways we can do it. So let's slide that leg out, lift the heel and bring your knee toward the floor or toward your chair. Beautiful job. We're just going to slide in and out a few times. That's all. Just sliding in and out. So it's not back. So I see some folks going back. I want you, if you can look right here, I'm not going back this way. I'm going out this way. So I didn't say this. I'm sorry. This was my fault. Let's start with the foot underneath the hip. So that's the good starting point. If I'm already starting back here, it's going to look like that. If I'm starting here, it's going to look like straight out to the side. Is that making sense? Okay. Sorry it took me so long to get us here. Okay. And how about one more time? So your leg is out there. We're going to hold. And now if you want an ad, and you don't have to do this, you can lean into the back of your chair, take your arm up past your ear, reach out through that leg, so the leg is straight now and the knee is facing sort of down toward the floor or out to the side a little bit, and then we're going to come all the way back. Beautiful job. Okay, we're finally done on that side. Turn back to the center. Let's have your hands on your lap, close your eyes. Take a couple of breaths in and out. And just notice. Notice the right side, notice the left side. So we just did a whole bunch of work for that hip. You might feel it in your back, you might feel it in the front of the hip, you might feel it in the back of the hip, the leg. Nice deep breath in, let it out with a sigh, and let your eyes open. All right, let's turn to the right. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Yep. Any place on that side is great. Okay, so we've got the back of the right leg, as much of the leg on the chair as possible, and then the left cheek is kind of hanging off. You're going to get your little slider thing, unless you got your socks on, then that means you got a built-in slider, which is great. And you're going to tuck your pelvis under, so in other words, this is kind of arching the back here. I want to make sure I'm pulling my belly in, so I'm tucking the pelvis under, and I'm just going to slide back and forth, right? So we're just going to do this a few times. We're warming up on this side. This also gives you an idea, like I just found out that I just discovered that I was too far on my chair, so I needed to get my left hip and my whole left leg off the chair a little bit more. Just make sure you're holding on to the back of your chair, because one slip could bring you to the floor, and we definitely don't want that. So as you're doing this, notice, is it different on this side? Right, so we're often not symmetrical in our ability to move like this. Maybe this is easier, maybe the other side was easier. And the next time that your knee is bent and your hip is bent, we're just going to pause here. And then we're going to start with our ads, right? So the next ad is going to be to raise the arm as you extend the leg, and then to bend the arm as you as you bend the leg as well, okay? So with your next inhale, you're going to extend your leg, extend your arm. Bend your leg, bend your arm. Said better, extend your knee, extend your elbow. How's that? Bend your knee, bend your elbow, right? Make sure you're not arching your back. So when we add the arm, quite often we lose the core. So our back starts to arch a little bit. Great. The next time that you're here with the leg extended and the arm extended, I'm going to have you hold. Okay? And you're holding and reaching and breathing and squeezing that left buttock a little bit more and making sure the pelvis stays tucked. And if you want one more add here, lean into the back of your chair and lift your left armpit away from your hip. So that's lifting the shoulder to get that armpit to lift up, and breathe. And then release everything, coming back to sort of that neutral position for a moment. Just kind of assess. So you went through it once on this side. What did that feel like? Could you go farther with it? Did you go too far? Do you need to back off a little bit? So the next time you're ready, you can extend your arm, extend your leg. Hold and breathe. Keep the pelvis tucked. Inhaling, exhaling. If you want to add that lean into the back of your chair, you can do that. If you want to lift your armpit, your shoulder up and away, you can do that as well. Keep reaching out through your toes, lengthening that back leg. Nice job, everybody. And then slowly release and relax all the way down. Great. Okay. So now line up your foot with your hip, or your heel rather, with your hip. So again, it's not back here. So I see some folks with their foot way back here. I want you to bring that foot so your heel is right in line with your hip. And then we're going to extend the leg out to the side, lift your heel, and turn your knee toward the floor and back in. Okay? So this is a little different rotation. Okay? If you've got your foot pointed this way, that means you're laterally rotating your hip. I want you to internally rotate your hip. It should be harder. It should feel harder. And it may feel different than the other side. Okay? So maybe the other side was like yowie, and this side is kind of fine with it. Or maybe not fine, but less yowie. How's that? Okay. Next time you're out there, hold and breathe. Good, good, good. Keep holding. That looks great, everybody. If you want a little add here, you can lean into the back of your chair, raise your arm up past your ear. So we're reaching out through the toes, reaching out through the fingers. That looks fantastic. And then slowly relax. Excellent. All right, let's turn to the front of the chair. Hands on your lap, close your eyes. Take a couple of breaths in and out, just sort of noticing the hips, noticing the shoulders, noticing everything in between. Let your eyes open, and we're just going to do one more movement to kind of integrate those things, because we did a lot of work with the hips and the shoulders and the sides of the body, but now we're going to do sort of the whole torso as well. So simply taking your hips and rotating them forward, so you're arching your low back, and then squeezing your shoulder blades together, right? And as you do this, drop your chin to your chest. And then we're going to round through the back. So you can bring the arms forward, shoulder blades come way off the back, really round through your low back, and then extend, right? So that's it. So don't lift your chin. We're keeping the chin tucked. The inclination when we come into this extended position is to lift your chin up, but I want you to keep that chin tucked. So just a couple more of these. That's another one of those postures that we don't, or positions that we don't get enough of. Good. Last time. And good. Okay, and then release that. So when I say that tucking the chin is one of those positions we don't get enough of, a lot of the time when we're not paying attention, this is our posture, right? So I'm watching TV or I'm driving the car, because the car, by the way, the car seat wants you to be in this position, because it's safer if the airbag deploys for you to be in this position than it is if you're in this position. So when we're here, the back of the neck gets short. And so if I'm stretching, I'm reinforcing that. Anytime I can do something to make the back of my neck longer is going to help counter that sort of unconscious position that I find myself in every now and then, and I'm always appalled when I find myself in that position. I'm like, oh my God, how did I land here? But you do. Okay. So make yourself comfortable for a couple of minutes, and we'll sort of integrate everything now with a little bit of breathing. You can close your eyes and rest your body. You can sit using the whole back of your chair if you want. If your body just needs a little bit of a rest, go ahead and do that. If you want to stay at the front edge, that's okay too. And just notice your breath as it moves in and out. See if you can just kind of tap into everything we just did, right? With the shoulders, with the hips, with the knees, the elbows. We did work for the wrists and the hands and the fingers and toes, ankles. And all that movement we just did with the spine from your tailbone all the way up. So getting as many of our joints as possible to move in as many possible ways as we can. That's always a good thing. It's always good to find unusual movements, unusual positions, and sort of start to pepper them in to our daily movements, things that are more natural. It's like a little bit of spiciness. And then noticing your breath. So can you notice air as it moves in and out? Can you make the inhalations and exhalations about the same length? So you could do that by adding a little count. If you wanted to count to 4 as you breathe in, count to 4 as you breathe out. Breathing into 4, breathing out to 4. Taking a nice deep breath and hold it. And hold it a little longer. And then let your breath out really slowly. And when you've exhaled everything you can, go back to your natural breath, just in and out. And when you're ready, you can let your eyes open. Thank you everybody for being here today. And just a real quick reminder, I won't see you for I'll see you in 3 weeks. So there's no yoga next Friday, and there's no yoga the Friday after that, but I will be here the Friday after that. Okay, thank you. Yes, so enjoy. I'll see you soon.